What does it really mean to be a man in today's world? For most of us, we've been told that being a man is about strength, success, and never showing weakness. But what if there's more to it? What if real strength comes from something deeper? I used to believe that success was all about financial achievement. In my early 20s, I was making almost $1,000 a day, thinking the more I earned, the more I was worth. But when the money slowed down and life shifted, I found myself lost, relying on others and questioning my value. I realized then that true success isn't measured by what's in your bank account, but how aligned you are with your purpose, your values, and your authentic self. That awakening pushed me to go deeper, to redefine what being a man really means. It's not about living up to society's expectations, but it's about uncovering who you truly are, embracing your strengths, your vulnerabilities, and finding purpose beyond external measures of success. This is just the start of a powerful journey. And over the next several weeks, we're going to explore what it means to step into your true masculinity, one that aligns with who you are, not what the world expects of you. And if you're looking to go even deeper, I also offer a personalized one-on-one mentoring journey where we work together over 8 weeks to break through your barriers and to help you step fully into the man that you're meant to be. You can set up a call with me by following the link in my description. So let's dive in together. This is the beginning of your transformation, your journey to rediscovering yourself. Have you ever taken a moment to really think about what masculinity means to you? See, we're surrounded by different ideas of what it is to be a man, whether it's from family, friends, the media, or society at large. But when you strip away all those external voices, what does masculinity actually look like to you? And more importantly, what should it feel like? For many of us, these ideas are deeply ingrained from a young age. We're taught that being a man means being tough, being the provider, and above all, never showing weakness. You might hear things like, men don't cry, or real men handle their problems on their own. Whether consciously or not, we're conditioned to believe that success is defined by how much we achieve, how much we earn, and how well we control our emotions, or more often, how well we suppress them. But is that really what masculinity is all about? If we're being honest, how many times have we felt pressured to live up to these standards only to feel disconnected from ourselves and others? Society's message is clear. Strength means silence, independence, and emotional detachment. And vulnerability is something to hide or avoid at all costs. But think about the toll that takes. How many men are walking around feeling isolated, stressed, or even resentful because they can't fully express what they're going through? So let's take a moment to challenge these stereotypes. The idea that emotional stoicism equals strength, it might work for a while, but over time it can lead to a sense of loneliness and disconnection from the people around us. We're human after all. We feel things deeply. But when we're constantly told to push those feelings aside, it feels like we're shutting down parts of who we are. And then there's the connection between financial success and self-worth. Man, how many of us have tied our entire sense of value to how much we earn, what job title we hold, or how successful we appear on the outside? But what happens when that success doesn't look the way we expected? Or when we achieve it and still feel unfulfilled? Here's the thing. These stereotypes, while they might seem like the norm, they are incredibly limiting. They confine us to a narrow version of what it means to be a man, cutting off the full range of who we are. When we measure ourselves by these standards, we miss out on deeper connections, both with ourselves and with others. We get caught up in roles that we think we're supposed to play rather than living in alignment with who we actually are. And that's where the real struggle comes in. The constant pressure to meet expectations that don't necessarily match what we truly need or want. So I want to ask you, are these beliefs about masculinity helping or hindering you? Are they giving you the freedom to live authentically, or are they boxing you in, keeping you from fully expressing yourself? So start questioning these ideas. Ask yourself what masculinity looks like beyond what we've been told. What would it feel like if you allowed yourself to be vulnerable, to ask for help when you need it, to show emotion without fear of judgment? See, The truth is, masculinity isn't one-dimensional. It's not about fitting into somebody else's mold or playing a role that doesn't resonate with who you are. It's about embracing all parts of yourself, your strength, your vulnerability, your desire to succeed, and your need for connection. It's about finding the balance between being assertive and being compassionate, between independence and openness. See, masculinity at its core is about being true to yourself. It's about living in a way that honors your values, your emotions, and your authentic self. And that's where real strength comes from. Being the man that you were meant to be, not the man society tells you to be. So as we continue this journey together, I encourage you to take a closer look at the ideas that you've been carrying around about masculinity. Which ones are serving you and which ones are keeping you stuck? See, this is just the beginning of redefining what it means to be a man on your own terms. And if you're ready to dive even deeper to explore this more personally, I offer a one-on-one 8-week mentoring journey designed to help you break through these barriers and step into your authentic self. You can easily set up a call with me through the link in the description below. See, self-discovery is the foundation of everything. It's the process of understanding who you truly are at your core, your values, your beliefs, and your vision for your life. It's about looking beyond the surface, stripping away the expectations of others, and getting clear on what truly matters to you, not what others say should matter. For a long time, I thought my identity was tied to financial success. I believed as long as I was making good money, I was living my purpose. But when that success faded, I was forced to look deeper. And what I discovered was that my real core values, integrity, honesty, and authenticity, they weren't being honored in the way that I was living. I realized that it wasn't just about material success for me, but it was about growth, connection, and contribution. And these aren't things that you can measure in dollars. Once I started living in alignment with those values, everything shifted. My actions felt more meaningful, my relationships deeper, and my sense of purpose more fulfilled. And that's what self-discovery does. It helps you to identify what truly matters so you can align your actions with your core values. When your actions reflect who you are at your core, life feels more authentic and more fulfilling. So I want to ask you, have you ever taken the time to really think about your core values? What's at the heart of who you are? Is it integrity, authenticity, honesty? Maybe it's growth, connection, freedom, family. Take a moment to reflect on that, because when you know what drives you, you can start making choices that align with your true self. Think about how living in line with your values can transform your life. And remember, this is a journey, one that doesn't end after one realization. And if you're unsure where to start or want to dive deeper, as I said earlier, I offer personalized one-on-one mentoring where we explore your core values and align your life with what truly matters to you. Now let's dive into a quick exercise to help you reflect on your core values. So I want you to grab a pen and paper or just take a moment to think about this. I want you to write down 3 to 5 values that are the most important to you. So these could be things like honesty, integrity, growth, family, freedom, whatever resonates most deeply with who you are. Then once you've written these values down, think about how they influence your view of masculinity. For example, if you value integrity, how does that shape the way that you show up as a man? Do you strive to be consistent and honorable in your decisions? If authenticity is one of your values, how do you express yourself, your true self, in your relationships and work? See, our core values, these are the compass that guides us, and they influence every single choice that we make, whether we realize it or not. Now, here's the actual challenge. Take a moment to consider whether your actions are aligned with these values. Are you living in a way that reflects what matters most to you? For example, if growth is important, are you actively seeking opportunities to evolve? If family is a core value, are you nurturing those relationships regularly? Or are there areas of your life where your actions don't quite match up with what you believe? Now, this isn't about judging yourself. It's about awareness. See, when we identify where there's a gap between our values and our actions, that's when we can start to make adjustments that bring us into greater alignment with who we actually are. This is where real transformation begins. So take this time to reflect. And if you want to dive deeper into aligning your life with your values, I'm here to guide you. You can learn more about my one-on-one mentoring by following the link in the description. So now let's take this a step further with some visioning exercises. This is about imagining your life free of societal expectations, no pressures, no stereotypes, just you. Living in alignment with who you truly are. If you're in a place where you can, I invite you to close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath and imagine what your life would look like if you didn't have to conform to society's traditional views of masculinity. Who would you be if you weren't constantly trying to meet other people's expectations? How would you carry yourself? How would you express your emotions? Picture a version of yourself that lives fully without fear of judgment or rejection. What would it feel like to be free? Free to be the man that you truly are instead of the one that the world tells you to be. Now let me share my own experience with this. For years, I felt like I had to fit into a specific mold. I was chasing success, trying to live up to society's idea of what a real man should be. Successful, self-reliant, and always in control. But the more I tried to fit into that mold, the more disconnected I became from myself. Now, it wasn't until I let go of those expectations and embraced my own authenticity that I found real alignment in life. For me, authenticity meant living with integrity, honesty, and emotional openness. And when I started embodying these values, everything began to shift. My relationships deepened, my sense of purpose became clearer, and I felt more at peace with who I was. So I encourage you to hold on to that vision of your authentic self. What would it look like to live a life aligned with your deepest values, free from the constraints of societal expectations? This is where real freedom lies, and this is the version of yourself that will bring you the most fulfillment. And if you're ready to take that next step and start living as your most authentic self, I'm here to guide you through that process. So thanks for joining me on this first step of your journey towards self-discovery. Next week, we're diving into a critical part of mastering true masculinity, which is emotional intelligence. We'll explore how understanding and managing your emotions can transform your relationships and help you live with more confidence and purpose. Now, if you found today's session helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts about what your core values are. How are you redefining masculinity for yourself? Drop any insights or questions in the comments below, and let's start and build a strong community together where we support each other on this journey.